Okay. Hey everyone, it's Heather with Her Wellbeing. I'm happy you can join me today to talk about one of my favorite subject matters. And this is something I work with my clients quite a bit. Um, Number one, seasonal detoxification. That's a program that I'm rerunning with clients over and over again um, because it's such a rich practice. And so even myself, getting into this rhythm, the seasonal rhythm of a gentle cleanse, right as the seasons are changing, is a way to restore and renew, to rejuvenate. So I love this idea, and Ayurveda has so many beautiful teachings and practices that help us through this seasonal ritual, this gentle cleanse. And so I like to lead my clients on fairly personalized cleanses because I want them to feel, well, personal, and I want them to feel really authentic so that you're not just following yet another diet. And that's actually what I would like to talk about today is how a seasonal cleanse can turn into just another diet. So if you hear the word cleanse or detox and you kind of wince at those words, it may because maybe you've had a bad experience, or you look at those programs and you think like, give me a break. That's so much to do, too many boxes to check. I can't even go there. I totally get that. Some people get overwhelmed just thinking about that concept, taking on um, that kind of program, wellness program for yourself. So listen, I completely get that. And a client of mine and I were talking about this recently, and it really hit home for us and for me in particular, how we really need to take the diet out of Ayurvedic diet and the diet out of the cleanse diet, right? And not completely, but this concept of a diet, which people at this point, I feel like diet is becoming a four-letter word, right? And so even when we think of an Ayurvedic diet or cleanse, we may have that same misconception. And some of it is warranted. Some of you may have tried a cleanse and found them to be too overwhelming, too much to do, too many boxes to check, too stressful, right? I get that. That's happened to me plenty of times where I might start out with well intentions and then just give up a couple of days in because life happens. And I don't feel badly about that. But it is to say that there are some unrealistic expectations. And, that's not coming from me as a practitioner because I give my clients full permission to create the cleanse routine, the ritual that feels most authentic to them. But still, we can get into these pitfalls. So something I want to share with you today, common diet pitfalls is one of them. So we're going to look at this briefly. Look at this list. Common diet pitfalls to avoid. Even when thinking of doing a gentle Ayurvedic cleanse, things can go sideways if we start to end up in one of these traps or pitfalls, if you will. So, perfectionism, this idea that you have to do it just so, you should do it the right way, or it doesn't work, or it doesn't count. Oh, and by the way, you're a failure, right? That's a problem. That is a problem. And that can be something that can stop people before they even start, just knowing that they can't check all those boxes. They can't do it perfectly. And of course, that's perfectly okay. How we show up is perfectly okay. How it tends to manifest is okay. To release this idea of perfectionism, this idea of all or nothing, one slip and you're done, right? You give up, you fall off the wagon. That's a big one for me. I would feel like, oh, I didn't do this one thing, so forget it. My suggestion is keep going, keep going. It's okay. Give yourself some grace, forgive yourself, maybe have a little chuckle about it, like, whoops, I forgot that I was on me doing this cleanse, but that's okay. I'm going to start over in the morning. This punishment mindset, using a cleanse to atone for bad eating, right? Oh, I've been bad, so I need to do something good. And that means I need to punish myself. That is definitely setting yourself up for a negative experience. And we don't want to have that along with the cleanse. We want this to be enjoyable and nourishing. Over restriction, cutting out too much too fast, saying like, waking up one day and saying, I'm not going to drink coffee, I'm not going to eat my regular foods, I'm just going to eat carrot sticks and celery and green juice. And it's not realistic. It is not realistic. So try to stay away from severely reducing food or making really big changes. That's one of the main reasons why diets fail. And I say diets fail, not people fail, because they are too rigid and too restrictive. Ignoring pleasure. So believing that healthy is bland, boring, and basically yuck, right? So, no, my whole idea is that you can do this and it can be delicious, it can be pleasurable, all these things that reinforce good feelings with an Ayurvedic diet or cleanse. We want good feelings to be happening. That's positively reinforcing your experience instead of making that negative stamp in your mind. Losing body cues. This is so important. So this concentration or hyper focus on following rules instead of listening to your body. So really, you should be listening to your appetite, your hunger levels, your blood sugar levels. You can tell when your blood sugars drop and you need to eat something, or you need a break, or you just need a change of scenery. So we need to be able to pay attention and respond to hunger, energy, and mood beyond the rules, right? So rule following can get us into trouble as well. And I know you pitta types are out there. That's me too. You want to do things by the rule, you want to do things perfectly. And if you don't, that's it. So I'm inviting you to open your mind and your heart and to embrace something different. It's not perfection, it's something else. Comparison, measuring yourself against others or past quote unquote success. So comparing, we will always make ourselves feel crummy by comparing yourself to someone else, comparing your diet to another diet, so on and so forth. It's another way of possibly punishing ourselves, right? We have to really stay focused on ourselves, knowing that we are uniquely different and we're going to show up differently in all manners. And then the quick fix mentality. This is a problem too, where we think like, I'm just going to do this one quick thing, this crash diet, and it's going to solve all my problems. And this is the beautiful thing about these Ayurvedic seasonal rituals. It's an invitation into the practices on a seasonal basis, maybe once or twice a year, for you to just get back into this rhythm of, all the things that the cleanse entails, the foods, the lifestyle, the yoga. We're going to go over all those components. But first, I wanted to take a look at these specific pitfalls, because if you find yourself in one of these pitfalls, it means that you're applying the diet mentality to an Ayurvedic diet or cleanse. And you might need to back out and refresh your mindset. So I'm going to stop sharing that for now and invite you to look at, well, before we do that, let's just sum up that a cleanse or any particular type of new food regimen that you're trying, whether it's Ayurvedic or otherwise, it doesn't have to be overly rigid to work. It doesn't have to be punishing or joyless. So when you can break free of these diet rules, a seasonal reset becomes something that nourishes you and feeds you from the inside out in this very positive and enjoyable way. And it's an opportunity to lighten up, to clear up, clear out from the inside out and feel more like yourself again. And that has nothing to do with goals or check boxes, to-do lists, and unrealistic expectations. So I want you to be in the driver's seat when you choose to change your diet for whatever reason. And what I like to tell my clients and all of my followers is, if you are going to make changes, what really matters is that you do it for you. Don't do it about what others may think of you or how you look externally. Do it for you and for how you feel, right? If you want to feel better and you want to do this for yourself, then absolutely, yes, that is a good way to go. If we're doing it because of societal pressures and especially for women, we deal with this constantly, the pressure to be perfect, to be thin, right? To be fit, right? All these things are square pegs that many of us don't fit in. So we really have to embrace our own uniqueness, which is something that Ayurveda teaches, to find our true path through these seasonal practices, to find your own way. So today I'm going to share with you my top tips on exactly how you can do that in this way that stretches those rules. We're going to break these diet rules and we're going to stretch these rules a little bit so that you can feel a little bit more authentic in the choices that you make in your cleanse. So here are, I'm going to share again very quickly. Here are some very simple ways that you can support your cleanse. So number one, super, super easy, drink plenty of water. If it can be warm water, even better. And you can also do herbal teas. So warm water, water in general, not only is hydrating, but that is going to help flush your system. There is such thing as drinking too much water. So please, when you are thirsty, drink. And you don't have to necessarily force yourself. Please don't force yourself, but drink when you are thirsty. And even when you think you are hungry, have something to drink first, because it's possible that you're mixing those cues, that you're actually thirsty. So try to drink some water first. And then if you're still hungry, then go ahead and have something. Manage stress. This is so important because raised stress levels will cause us to stress eat or do emotional eating, right? So it's a coping mechanism. So managing stress as best as we can. I know we all have numerous sources of stress in our everyday life, right? We have stress externally, we have stress internally. There's stressors that we apply on ourselves. And so, yes, I understand we cannot be completely stress-free. but to try to manage the stress as best you can. And we'll talk about that. That's part of the practices. Deep breathing is really helpful, especially if you're going to go out for a walk or just taking some deep breaths. It's so simple, so easy at any given moment to simply take some deep breaths. So I think you and I can do that right now. Take a moment to just relax. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in through your nose. Maybe there's a gentle hold at the top and then sigh the breath out of your mouth. Exhale out of the mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale through your nose, maybe a little bit more deeply. Take your time with that and really absorb that inhale, gentle hold, and then really allow yourself to exhale as much as you can. Once more, inhale through the nose. And out of the mouth. And then how did that feel? That makes me feel amazing. Amazing. It's amazing what deep breaths can do. So whenever you feel stress, try to take some deep breaths just to reset. That is an automatic reset that resets the body and the brain, your nervous system. Oxygenation. Oxygen, so important. Daily movement. So there's no strong, rigid rules around this. Just make sure that you're moving your body every day. You're walking, maybe you're taking some stairs, maybe you're doing some stretching. There's no need to work out during a cleanse. In actuality, if you work out and exhaust yourself, that's energy that you could be putting towards detoxification. So for daily movement, we're thinking of pretty gentle things here. Staying active certainly helps with circulation. It also helps with stress, and it aids digestion. So daily movement checks so many boxes for those of you who like to check boxes. And again, it should be easy and pleasurable and quick, right? This is my whole spiel here is about quick and easy, right? You don't have to think too hard about it. Greens are genius. If there's anything you are going to include in your cleanse is lots and lots of greens. Raw greens, cooked greens, green this, green that. If you like green juice, go for it. If you don't like green juice, no need. Green something, right? Green herbal teas. So greens are an anti-inflammatory. And I'm not going to assume that you have inflammation problems, but they can be really helpful for anyone. They're alkalizing. And then finally, I added intermittent fasting here because it's something that you are able to do that can certainly boost metabolism and digestion. And the main fast that I'm talking about is the fast from dinner time to breakfast time. That's it. Nothing too long or depleting, nothing that's going to make you lose your mind. It's fairly simple. You simply don't snack at night and not in the morning before you have your first meal, maybe around 8 o'clock, maybe 9, if you can make it that late. But again, it should not be stressful. Remember, if you're doing something that adds stress, that's working against one of these principles here, which is managing stress. You should not be adding stress to something that may already be a little stressful. Because let's face it, if you're going to follow a new diet or food regimen, I hate using the word diet, but it's really so ingrained in our language. There is going to be a little bit of stress there, some practical stress around, oh, how do I, if I'm going to eat a lot of greens, wait a minute, I need to shop for greens and now I need to make something with those greens, et cetera, et cetera. So a little bit of stress comes with change and a little bit is okay. We don't want to overwhelm ourselves, obviously. Okay, now I'd like to share with you, let's see, this is a little big here. Gonna make this smaller. Okay, now I'm going to share with you some of my favorite detox foods. We talked about greens. So greens are baseline to do in a cleanse. Mung beans are my number one detox food. So you don't necessarily have to go on a mono diet. That's not what I like to do. Honestly, I find that really rigid and boring, and I get really tired of eating khichdi all the time. And so I like to change things up. But as long as if you're including mung beans at some point during the day or at some point over the stretch of your cleanse, right? Whether it's khichdi or mung dal, mung beans are an anti-inflammatory. They have this beautiful prebiotic fiber that your gut loves, and so you're feeding your gut when you're eating mung beans. Any lentil is going to do that, but mung beans have the added benefit of being an anti-inflammatory and helping to remove impurities from your body. So that fiber helps to sweep away impurities that are in your gut. At the same time, it's feeding your gut with those fibers. So, I mean, it's really a win-win. Just adding mung beans into your meals at some point, whether you make them with rice or you make them into a soup or you sprout them or whatever, they're just, find a way, find a nice recipe for you to include mung beans at some point. Golden milk. I love to include golden milk in a seasonal cleanse. This is something that you can do in the morning. And it's a classic Ayurvedic recipe that has turmeric. Turmeric is an anti-inflammatory. Obviously, there's a pattern here. Yes, there are a lot of anti-inflammatory qualities in these foods, but golden milk, warm golden milk is nourishing, right? Notice we're not talking about whole green juices or smoothies right away. Golden milk is going to honor the way that your digestion works. And having something warm to drink in the morning, something that's warm and nourishing, can do wonders for you, for your digestion, for your metabolism, versus eating something cold and clammy and congesting, like a thick, cold smoothie. And then notice the portion size. This is small. Maybe this is 4 ounces. So we have to dial back our portions big time. We are being trained to eat bigger and bigger quantities of food and to drink bigger and bigger quantities of beverages. So even not just portion control on food, but on your beverages is really important. So you go to a cafe and you can get a coffee like this big, right? If you look at old coffee cups, they're like this big. So you want to think of more of like a teacup size, is what we're looking for in a serving. So golden milk can be great in the morning or an afternoon snack. And then I like to include, this is not in the list, but I like to include ghee in the golden milk, and that is really nourishing. And it also helps to kind of soothe your appetite if you're getting hungry. So that can be a nice snack. Triphala is a traditional herb that we use in Ayurvedic herbal medicine during a cleanse or during any time when we want to boost digestion. So having a cup of Triphala tea can be really helpful. Now, I've heard people taking Triphala tablets. Unfortunately, because they're so dense and compact, your body has a much harder time breaking that down, as with any supplement. So I really suggest taking the Triphala tea. It's made of 3 fruits, harataki, bibitaki, and amalaki. Amalaki especially is very high in vitamin C, very, very high. And so these are astringent herbs. They're kind of sour and bitter, and so they kind of um, they stimulate your digestive system. It works as a laxative and a detoxifying laxative. It's not going to make you run to go to the bathroom, but it really helps to tone the gut. And so that is helpful. At 1 cup of triphala tea a day can be really helpful. Cooked apples. The fiber in cooked apples is something that is much loved by your gut. Again, it's this prebiotic fiber that feeds your gut microorganisms. Something about the fiber that transforms when you cook it versus raw apples. Raw apples are helpful too, but something about cooked apples. So try to have cooked apples if you can at some point. And again, if you want to make those with a little bit of ghee, that can also be very lubricating for the GI tract, which helps to decrease gut permeability. Leaky gut is a huge problem right now. And I firmly believe that healthy fiber and healthy fats like ghee help to strengthen the gut lining. Whole foods in general, but definitely legumes, vegetables, greens, fruits. So go back to the basics. Go back. It's all about going back to the basics. There's nothing fancy here. I have no like fancy supplements or smoothie mixes to sell you. It's all like you can go to the store and buy all these things yourself and try all of these things fairly easily. And again, this is an open invitation. There's no rigidity about you have to eat this many times a day for these many days. And if you're new to Ayurveda, this is very much a soft introduction. It might be great for beginners who are wondering how to start. Okay, and then there are also these detox methods that we use during a seasonal cleanse. There's dry brushing. You may already be familiar with that. This helps to stimulate circulation and lymph flow. So these brushes are really soft. You can also even use like a washcloth. If a brush sounds really rough, you can just use kind of a nubby textured washcloth, or you can use those exfoliating gloves or even soft gloves. So it's up to you. Some people are going to like that more vigorous scrubbing. That's going to feel really good. Probably more kapha types, but vata types might like something really soft. And we're just moving the lymph in the body. That is our body's garbage disposal system. So we're moving those impurities through the lymph to the lymph nodes. Self-massage as well. We do this with oil. You can do it with a food grade oil. You can do this with an Ayurvedic oil. Same thing, it's going to circulate. It's going to stimulate circulation and lymph flow. These also can be very relaxing. You're taking some time with self-care. Now, if you look this up on Ayurvedic websites, they'll say you have to do it for this long. This is when you have to do it. You have to use these oils, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm asking you just to tune those things out for now and to give them a try. The main thing is, with the oils, is to choose an oil without impurities. So we're not putting impurities back into our body. It could be as simple as coconut oil. Tongue scraping is important because we're removing the metabolic waste that you see, that coating on your tongue is a sign that your system is creating some metabolic waste as it's digesting the food. If you can remove that, it's a white coating, you can remove it gently. If that coating seems to not go away and you can't really take it off, don't try to scrape it harder, but that just means that we call it ama in Ayurveda, is sticking around. It's more chronic, right? And so you are definitely ready for a cleanse if you're finding that you have that white coating that just you can't scrape it off, right? So do a cleanse, follow these methods, and hopefully you should see that white or yellow coating. Sometimes it's dark, slowly dissipate. And then oil pulling can help to detoxify the whole oral cavity. There's a lot of bacteria in our mouth, of course, and it can help strengthen your teeth and gums as well, especially if you use, people like to use coconut oil. But if you use sesame oil is high in calcium. So you're also improving your teeth health that way. Tooth health, teeth health. More detox methods that can be super relaxing. So here's a part that can be so pleasurable. Um, Going for a sauna or a steam. You know, if you're sensitive to heat, not too long, please. We don't want to deplete ourselves and dehydrate ourselves. Just a quick heat of steam or heat can be really helpful and can help you relax. Of course, as long as you are not overheating yourself. Taking relaxing warm baths with Epsom salts can also be really relaxing. Epsom salts have magnesium and they can help you relax, your muscles relax, and get a really nice night's rest if you do that at night. And then here are my last two that should also be enjoyable. Yoga, not about like going to the gym and doing a group class where they're going to kick your butt, right? During a cleanse, I advise a more gentle approach, stretches, doing twists and side stretches and forward folds, just to work this abdominal area, the general abdominal area, to help move those impurities along and to help stimulate digestion. So you don't need to do anything really severe in terms of a workout or yoga. If anything, remember, we're trying to manage stress. Exercising too much, too often, or too hard can be understood as stress by the body-mind system. So again, take it easy, let it be enjoyable. And finally, rest. This is a tricky one for me just because I have a hard time stopping, let alone laying down in the middle of the day. So it's not about like taking a 2 hour nap in the middle of the day, unless if you have the time and you want to and you need to, absolutely. But for many of us busy individuals, it might be just about getting some downtime, having some me time, and it honestly could be 5 minutes. But choose something that's doable for you. Maybe it's just a quick lie down on the couch or sitting on your back porch or going for a quick walk. But it shouldn't feel like a burden. And I think self-care has gotten a bad rap because it feels like a burden. Like, oh, I have to do this like luxurious spa day to be taking care of myself. Self-care can be uber, super duper simple. And actually, the simpler and easier, the more accessible, and the more likely you're going to be able to do that. So whatever it is, it needs to be quick and easy. Do not overthinking it. Think it. If you're overthinking it, that's a sign that like, I don't need to go there. Okay, so here's my rule breakers guide, because this is what we're doing, honestly. We are talking about breaking the rules because these rules, especially diet rules, need to be broken for our physical and mental, emotional health. So, number one, the detox diet, the foods, I don't like to use the word diet, but the foods need to be quick and easy. You know, incorporate some of these detox foods into one or more of your meals on any of your cleanse days, right? Make mung dal, make khichdi, make the golden milk, make stewed apples, whenever, or whatever you're going to do. The main thing is choose whole foods over processed ones. That is one rule that maybe you can try to stick to day. But again, it should be quick and it should be easy. I'm not talking about spending hours in the kitchen making yourself food unless you enjoy that. That's what I like to do. I love that. Anyways, you don't have to do that. It can be quick and easy. Quick and easy daily movement. Again, choose something pleasurable that you can do to move your body in an enjoyable way every day. And then quick and easy self-care. Is it a bath? Is it brushing or oil on the body? Is it a quick yoga stretching session? So just pick one thing, one or two things, and 5 minutes is a great place to start. 5 minutes of yoga stretching is better than zero. Especially if you think like, oh, I don't have time to like get on my yoga clothes and grab my yoga mat and go to the studio and do all the things. There's too many obstacles in the way. Just sit on the floor, lay on the floor, and stretch your body. You don't need any of those things. You don't even, you just need to be in some comfortable clothing so you can move your body. That's it. Or go for a walk, right? Choose quick and easy. And then quick and easy downtime. Again, it could be 5 minutes. Just a quick lay down, put the distractions away, or go outside. One of my favorite things to do is just to go out the door and go and sit on my back porch. Maybe if it's just for like 5 minutes, especially on a meeting day where I'm talking with people almost nonstop. I just need to be in nature and outside for a few minutes. So again, downtime, quick and easy. So all these things need to be quick and easy. And if I zoom out here a little bit, this is all in a PDF guide. And any of you who signed up for this workshop, I will send this to you. So you have a copy of it. So basically, you have these 4 quadrants of care during a detox or a cleanse, whatever you want to call it. And if you don't like those words, you don't have to use them. Whatever your self-care seasonal ritual is, right? All you have to do is check off one of these boxes on any given day. The food, movement, self-care, and downtime. Those are the 4 quadrants of care. Maybe I need to rename this page that. Okay, so the last page in the guide, of course, is inviting you to join my online community in her balance. And if you're new to this, feel free to set up a free discovery call here. There's a link in the PDF where you can sign up and we can talk more about this. But this is the beginning of this conversation that I'm really interested in having with women about breaking some rules with Ayurveda. So I call that Ayurveda without rules. And I am going to be releasing some YouTube videos over the next few months, specifically focusing on that because I am for myself, starting with myself, trying to break some of these diet rules that trap us into thinking that this is some kind of rigid, performative thing when it's not. It should be for us. It's because it's for us. We have to strip away the diet and the fitness culture programming for that, especially for women, is so deeply embedded. So I'll stop my share there for now. But that is my invitation to you. I think, if you're interested in this more open invitation, this open format into, exploring Ayurvedic practices, let's keep talking about that. I'm really interested in that because I do think as well-intentioned as these Ayurvedic practices are, as beautiful as they are, there's a lot of rigidity around them. And that is something that personally I have a problem with, and I bump into this with clients too, is it's an unrealistic expectation that many of us cannot meet. And that's very disappointing to us. And I don't want to feel like that when I'm trying to take care of myself. And I don't want you to feel like that when you're trying to take care of yourself. So I will send you this guide. You can take a look and you can follow to the best of your ability along with those guidelines. Now, if you're already part of our community, you can go online and access these resources for you to have the recipes and have all the practices at your fingertips to do your own personal cleanse at home. And again, to apply these guidelines that we spoke of today, that it doesn't have to be rigid, doesn't have to be punishment. It can be enjoyable and it can feel more authentic when you are choosing from a menu of options for the day as opposed to checking off boxes. So it's a big difference. I think it sets a much different tone, and you can feel more nourished in the way that you are also empowered, making your own choices. So I hope that was helpful for you today to learn about the practices, kind of an overview of the practices, an overview of some of the more traditional detox foods, but also this unconventional take on seasonal cleansing. So it is this fall and the spring are ideal times. Honestly, you can do it at any time that you feel like you need a reset and you need to unplug, like pull the plug and just unplug for a few days before you plug back in to whatever it is that you're used to. But it is an invitation. Please reach out if you want, make that free discovery booking with me. And if we have fallen out of touch, know that you can sign up for a free catch-up call for any of my previous clients. If we haven't talked in a while, you can sign up for a free catch-up call with me so that we can get back on track and talk about how, like, what practices feel really juicy for you, that you want to do, what recipes are you looking forward to reincorporating, and so we can make a plan for you. So let me know if that interests you, and thanks again for being here today, and I'll see you soon. This is Heather with Her Wellbeing, Ayurveda, and Yoga. Take care.